these issues, he's been talking about them on his podcast and opening up, then yeah, I hope he gets help, sure. But I mean, I don't know. You
What'd you
had the
think about
wife, you had the kid, you had it, you had it. I mean, what happened? I don't know.
what do you
I
make
don't know.
of Rachel Leviss wishing him well, saying, she supports him, good for him for sharing? Do you think Rachel believes it? Certainly seemed quite sincere in that post.
I thought so. Now, people have seemed to have come for her. I mean, there I am telling you I'm a jaded person. I don't really understand. She says she's saddened to hear about his mental health struggles. She wholeheartedly supports this. I mean, she has had, I think, like, when something happens or I talk about it here, I relate it to something in my own life. Like, I think you can analyze the situation by relating it if you have relatable experience. I mean, every situation is different. I pray that this news is met with open-mindedness that mine lacked as I face mockery and accusations of being a spy. I hope he finds sorry, Rachel, I guess she's telling me that I should take this seriously. I hope he finds the healing that I did through my own journey. The situation highlights the urgent need. She does speak about this now on her podcast. She goes to mental health like conferences. It is part of her story that she is dedicated to. I didn't think this called for everyone coming for her, but they have, and they said, way to make this whole thing about you. And they have slammed Rachel for this.
Yeah, some people have even said, I don't know why Rachel felt the need to address Jack's mental health journey. Like, girl, he was never your friend. You are not part of the show anymore. It's time to let the Vanderpump things go and move on with your life. Wow. Wow. I mean, look, who cares, right? You do what you want because the internet always has opinions. And that's really why we put it out on the internet, right? Without opinions, what do you and I have? We don't have a show. What do these bloggers have? They don't have anything. They don't have engagement. And I think,
Everybody doesn't realize I love the hate. When you have the hate, that means people are listen, when you don't like something, you turn it off. Period. The end. You do not watch the show again. You don't like Game of Thrones or you don't like New Jersey Housewives. You actually turn it off when you don't like something. When you are so angry over Teresa or Melissa or anything we say, that means you don't agree, you're upset, and you're coming back tomorrow. That is what it means. Because when you don't like something and you're falling asleep and you're bored or you don't like it, you turn it off. I used to love Amazing Race. Somewhere along the line, I turned it off. I used to love Survivor. Somewhere along the line, I turned it off. God help me for saying this. I even turned off Big Brother. I don't even watch that anymore. I just got over it. So when you're angry, it means you're invested. So what the hell is my point, David? I don't understand why people are
well,
so
the
mad.
point is
I
this.
mean, is it kind of related? She was on the same show that he was on. It's the same
Yes.
family.
Yeah,
And
she's
she did
playing.
go to a facility. If I went to a facility, I would have something to say about that.
100%. She should weigh in. She did. You and I have said it on our podcast episodes together. She should lean more into the Vanderpump stuff. I'm not sure that that's what she wants to do, because her podcast, Rachel Goes Rogue, now seems very centered about mental health. But again, she's the perfect person to weigh in. So I'm with Team Rachel on this one. Ignore the hate, weigh in. This seems like it's your lane.
I agree. And apparently, Jax was spotted filming a scene that was very heated with Jesse Lally. And Jax has, I think it's all about like he's been saying, like Michelle, Jesse's soon to be ex-wife, always had this boyfriend. Jax has assured us that, how you watch The Valley and all these reality shows like RHONJ and everything else, and you say, like, why didn't you show that? Why didn't you show that? This is what's happening in the real world. Well, of course, Jax, that is how it works. They're not talking about, my podcast guest, Melissa's old nose or the bloggers on New Jersey Housewives. Jax says, none of that this season on The Valley. Well, I mean, you're not actually the executive producer, dear. But Jax says, this season on The Valley, we're going to see like everything. The real stuff that's going on in the world, we're not going to say, why didn't you show that? He's there to bring out the real dirty stuff. Like last
Right.
season, no one wanted to say this one or that one. Yeah, that's what I said. And Danny and Nia, Danny, who's like the sweet Danny, the sweet like couple, he said he's implying that Jax is coming for him too in a comment. And he doesn't understand why Jax is just making shit up and coming for him. So I don't know. I think the Valley has legs, Sarah. The Valley has legs.
Huge, huge legs. I think enormous legs. So hopefully Jax is fine. Hopefully this is sincere. And yeah, right. We're all for it. I think a little healthy bit of skepticism is fine, but we ride for mental health.
Work it out, baby. Work it out. Where else do you want to go with this?
I've got a long laundry list of things to talk about.
We do.
Um, do you want to stay on Vanderpump or should we come back?
Let's come back. I see some small topics, but let's come back to Vanderpump.
The other thing we haven't
What
got
else do we have?
well, John Jansen and Alexis Bellino. John Jansen, the guy who apparently doesn't want to be on TV, doesn't want attention.
I saw
No
that.
problem sitting down for a tell with our friend Carlos King.
I mean, rumor is that he didn't want to be there, and Shannon just called him in at the last minute, so to speak.
Alexis called him in.
Alexis. Oh my God, I said Shannon. Oh my gosh, David. A little faux pas, Freudian slip. But apparently, the most interesting thing I saw, and I didn't listen to them, but I saw all the headlines. The most interesting thing I thought is that Alexis wants to prove to everybody that John is not broke, because there's this narrative that he lived off Shannon, that Shannon was the sugar mama and he was just using her for money. So he wants to first say, she says that if he was broke, why would he ever offer to give me money? And two, he was is not a fame whore, because apparently he offered to give her whatever they were paying her not to film. So he apparently didn't want her on the show so much that he said, I'll give you the exact same salary that Bravo is giving you to not film the show. Now, how do you feel about this? Because I feel and that proves that A, he's not a fame whore because he didn't want me on the show, and B, it proves that he has money. Well, I mean, I think we know he has money. He lent Shannon $75,000 for her facelift.
I was actually uncertain about his money situation. So
yeah, I'm not sure he has a lot of money. Let me back up that car. He ain't no Kyle Richards.
Right. I mean, I don't even know what he does or he did. I need to go and look that up. I did find that curious about the interview, that seemed to be a real headline and a real sticking point for her, because okay, I guess, like, what an odd thing to talk about. Like, oh, John offered me full salary to not stay on the show. I'm going to look up. Do you know what John Jansen did for work? I think he's retired.
No. And I mean, look, there's rumors about him that he's like a dirty John, and he went from Shannon to, the next, that he get him in line behind Louis Realias. But, the thing about John, also, yeah, and I don't think he has like a ton of money, but the thing about John also is like, or, like when you want to prove a point, but you really